Hi guys, my name is Sagar, and I'm especially thankful to people who are sitting in the audience right now because I know it's hot. I know it's a little too hot for a February afternoon. But with me, I have two really cool guests. I've had the opportunity of talking to them a little bit before, and some of you here obviously work with them as well, so you all know who they are. But I wanted to quickly introduce them. With me, I have Seema. She's made sure that I call her Uli Seema, so we can address her as Seema, and obviously Shreyas. Seema has like a varied background, and now she is running her own e-commerce platform, and she's done a lot of work when it comes to launching new things, taking them to market. So we're going to talk a little bit about that with her. Whereas Shreyas, of course, he's got his 360 degrees marketing and branding expertise that he's going to bring on board. We will go in a sort of structure. We'll begin a little bit about what they do, who they are, move on to their journey, which will be a short and crisp movement through their journey, and then we'll swiftly move into the topic, which is taking your idea and moving it to the market. That will take up a chunk of our session today. Works? Yeah. So, Seema, just tell me a little bit about you, please.
Hello, I have born and brought up in Bombay, typical Metroid. Done the same MBA, MCOM, joined the company in marketing, and worked with many brands, brand building, marketing, business development. And suddenly, just about 8 years back, I have some health issues, and the treatments were going on for quite a long time. And that's the time when one good doctor told me that medicines are not what you will gain from. So you have to live a completely chemical free life. And for chemical free life, being a Bombayite, switch to Pune, again a mini metro. So was a difficult thing to do. How do you live a chemical free life? Not just your food, which is easy. We can go to organic stores and get it. But if you walk into an organic store, the costs were so high. Simple a wheat, which we get about 25 rupees a kg that time. In organic stores, it was almost 60, 70, or maybe 110. The variety which was told to me, khapli or emmer wheat, which we say. And that got me into this idea stage. I have been a marketing and brand development person for all along. It's been 20 years in the industry. And the thing which I want for myself, I'm not able to get it in the way I want. Means I want the product at the right price and from a trusted source. So these were my three needs, and I'm not getting it. So this thought, took me to farms. And when I went to farms, the problems over that side was, okay, we can give it to you, but if I reach it to you, I can't reach it alone for you, because the cost will then, the farms around Pune are not organic. So if you go to organic farms, they are almost 200 kilometers away. So their problem statements were, I cannot reach it only for you, and I cannot reach it daily, because if it has to be vegetable fruits, it's daily. So these two problem statements, if I have to find a solution, that became my idea going to the market. So that's how my journey started, wherein I set up this merafarmer.com, wherein I just appeal to people in a very small group that, I am getting it for myself. Will you join me? And with that small group of people, this idea went to the market. And in 2016, I got my first produce right from farmers to the consumers. And it's been 7, 8 years now, and it's going on very good.
Hello everyone, I'm Shreyas Bangad and I run a company called Brand Matters. As the name suggests, brand matters and all the matters of the brand. So we're a 360-degree branding company. So right from brand creation, brand communication and brand experience, we deliver everything. And luckily, me and Seema have worked together. She has been my client also. So I'm really glad to have Seema on board with me here. And yes, we are here to discuss about how to build a design company's brand. So why probably Vandita asked me to come, because I also built one for last 9.5 years. This is the 10th year running. So I could see a business gap where what just Seema was saying there. I was working in a India's #1 design company called Elephant Design, but only few could afford them. So and they had national international clients, and the regional clients, the local brands really wanted that kind of expertise and that kind of effort. At the same time, they wanted localized stuff, they wanted production, they wanted advertising. So I could see a gap there, that some of that brain and some of the local brain can be used, and I could help a lot of local brands, regional brands, to become a brand and market themselves. And that's how this idea started, and we grew. I'm happy that I took this decision, and since last 9.5 years, it's going well. We are based in Model Colony, and yeah, we are serving to variety of industries, right from real estate to IT to education to food and beverage, even to design based like or sustainable based clients. So it's been an interesting journey, and we are going ahead very strongly with it.
Right. So we got to know, like, how the story of how Seema got into what she's doing now. But I believe that there is more to just simply getting that idea. Like, okay, you had a need and you said, okay, this is how I'm going to fulfill it. Can you tell me a little bit more about the struggles? Honestly, like, I have an idea. Okay, I see a market gap. You saw a market gap. You see a window of opportunity out there. How do you really go about taking that idea? Okay, I wake up and say, fine, I'm going to go to the farmers, find out what I can get from there, and then ask 5 people about it and get it. But how does that go from that idea to launching an e-commerce platform and kind of making sure that it sustains itself, because you want it to continue, right? So what does it take?
What does it take was understanding whether the idea that you have is really solving the problem. And if you understand the problem very well, and if you strongly believe that yes, you have the solution, then you know how to put it forward. Because in this case, the problem was my own statement. The problem was mine, and I knew what I want. But to validate it further, when I keep going to customers and I explain them that this is what my idea is, it's like you walk, talk, sleep with the same idea. You go and meet anybody and talk the same thing, that मेरी तबीयत खराब है, मुझे we want chemical free food and I can get it. So would you like to get it? And then the questions were, organic तो बहुत ज़्यादा बदनाम है, it's always very high price. So you are a typical marketing person, and yeah, and you will really rebrand, and then we have one more organic product in the market which will again be very high price. And then I was like, okay, no, this is not what I want. So the issues which were coming in the form of sugar coated words to me were, I don't have trust on you, I don't have trust on the brand, and second was pricing. So if these two are very strong statements which are coming to me, then I have to work around. It's like problem solution, work karte raho, aswasta mil jata hai. So the solution was, okay, if trust is an issue, I am out of it. I am just a name here, and that's also a platform which is called Mera Farmer. So it is your farmer, and I will tell you exactly where is the farm. I'll give you his phone number, and you can go and visit the farm whenever you want. And this became a very big hit. Like, if you go, even today, when people come and tell me that organic, we don't believe, it's unnecessarily high priced. And how do we know it is really organic? So the only answer to this, even today, is you know your farmer. You go and ask the person ki farm kahan hai? And then you try to know the source of your product. That's it. And you get the answer. Once you go to the farm, then pricing becomes a complete non-issue. Because if we can't sit in heat here, if you go to the farm, I don't think people can even get inside the gate of a farm. So once you move into a farm and you work even for one day, then pricing becomes a completely non-issue. But yeah, I'm not increasing the price in that way. That also is transparent. I tell the farmer, this is what I'm taking from this chap, and out of this is what I'm going to give you in front of both of them. So that's the level of transparency we have maintained. So that's how it works. Yeah.
Thanks. So the two things that we got from there was trust and pricing. Two good takeaways. Now, when it comes to building a design brand, like you had an idea, okay, I'm going to move out of elephant and I'm going to do something that's also slightly more affordable, like you said. But design is so subjective, I mean, vegetables and grains, we understand that. But design is so subjective. So, what would you say your inputs would be? Same question, just your inputs in that, yeah?
So, as you rightly said, design is very subjective. So, what I might think price of 10 lakh rupees for a design, and you might think it is 10,000. So that I had understood way back, that you just can't say that I'm a great designer and I will put my price tag and do this. No, as she rightly said, people needed trust, people needed solutions more than that. So if you focus on solution and if you give a complete solution, then people are ready to pay for it. It's up to you that how you perceive that ये मुझे design के पैसे दे रहा है या implementation के पैसे दे रहा है या as a complete solution के पैसे दे रहा है. So I focused on how I can benefit our clients by offering variety of solutions. So I always say, as a personality, defining own personality, own company's personality is very important. Who are you? So as a personality, we call ourselves solution providers. And then we are just changing our clothes. Somebody wants it to look at as a design expert. Somebody wants to look at as a purely branding and marketing expert. Somebody wants to look at us as photography and videography solutions. Somebody wants to look at us as digital marketing solutions, whatever. So as long as they think that we can solve their problems, I think so our problem is solved. Then it is up to on your table, or how much value we really give to them. Then they are ready to give the price for it. As simple as that.
Alright, so far we've spoken about how you can take an idea, you get an idea, you're going to take that idea and you're going to go on the floor with it, right? This all is, I would say, very conceptual. Can we look at the practicalities of things? So, two things that you learn practically, Seema, and two things that you learn very, very practically. It could be absolutely anything. I'd love to hear some anecdotes as well, if you can. Throw that in and let's take this ball ahead, yeah?
I'll just diverge and give you one example of the brand that we worked on together, Nylons. And in that, the problem statement was we wanted to launch spices. And spices may, there is Everest, there is Suhana, and then what do you tell customer? That I have a new spice. It's like the Jankar beats, mera wala acha hai, le lo. So this was the only thing you could say. What else do you say? And the bigger problem was I'm not a good cook. So if I don't like to cook, I was happy till the time Nylons was making pasta, noodles, ready to eat and all. But suddenly masale. And then I told in a brainstorm meeting that, masale to I like to experiment with it. Pav bhaji masala I put in my bangan ka bhaji because I don't like bangan ka bhaji. So experimentation works. And this is how the new creative happened. Let's experiment in cooking. Let's mix and match. Mix karo, match karo, cook karo. So it was, again, I keep coming back to consumers. Your biggest things come back from customers. Customers tell you, okay, mera kya problem hai, and if you are giving solutions. One more example to this was now in this company, people tell me, okay, organic hai. I keep telling them organic doesn't mean, only chemical free. It's a lifestyle wherein you have to completely change your demands. You have to go for local, regional, seasonal खाना है. बट यार पत्ता गोभी तो रोज चाहिए मुझे. अरे फार्म पे उगता ही नहीं पत्ता गोभी हर महीने. कहाँ से लोगे? So similarly, carrots. Carrot के बिना तो we can't eat. I am on salad diet. I have to have my carrots and cucumbers every day. And I was like, no, we can't give you that. And then the idea came in was, okay, let's do one thing. You divide your portfolio and you say, okay, these are organic. And then you have one more column wherein you say these are non-organic. I said, wait a minute. So again, this is one more consumer feedback which has come very strongly, that I like what you're doing. I like the proposition that you're giving me, values that, you know your farmer. So you do this thing also for me. So it's a very easy thing to give in and say, okay, this will increase my business. and I can easily do it. But will it really help me? When I came home, we were in two minds. My husband is also here, he is a co-founder with me. And we were in two minds, we were discussing, okay, kar lete hain. Customer apna hi hai. If I get 100 from organic, maybe 20 for inorganic, and it's done. Let's get it. But then we slept over the idea, and it was like, no. Even if I lose 20 from here, I'll not do it. Because though consumer wants it, my inherent customer, myself, I don't like doing it. This is not my values. So it is like you are creating a value proposition, but you are also sticking to your own ethics and values, and you know where to say yes and where to say no. Yeah. And one more important point which I would like to add, because it's a business challenge, or this was about customer, second was about money. So money wisdom. When you are playing with others' money, when we were in companies and brands and huge brands, crores mein baatein hoti hai. The brand budget is like in crores, 18 crores, 20 crores, next year 25 crores, okay. And then we proudly say advertising mein half budget is anyways waste. वो तो यार Ogilvy ने बोला है कि 50% of advertisement money is waste. And we don't know which 50%. So डालते जाओ. But when you have to do business on your own money, it's a totally different game. Then you feel like यार मेरे staff members अगर दिन में 5 चाय पी रहे हैं, so what is the value of that chai monthly? So till that level of detailing, this money wisdom is very important, which you learn when you start your own business.
So I'll take it from where Seema ended her points. It is really important that how do you calculate your cost of acquisition of clients. It's very, very important. And when you start your own, and you are like a startup, you start with 2 people, 1 person, or 3-member team, and you eventually have to create, let's say, 20-member team, 50-member team. You have to really calculate, right from cost of employees, cost of operation, cost of acquiring a new customer. So it's not that you can put a lot of money at the start and get everything, unless and until you are heavily funded. So and that's how this. So I'll share, as he said, the practical points. Since we are in a sustainable design event, so one of our client, we met him at a conference where we both were chosen for some event as a speaker and others. We met, we started talking, and I was very impressed what they were doing. Like, I have solar powered products. So I was like, interesting. And when I saw his presentation, I was like, wow, this guy has really amazing ideas, amazing things he's doing. He's IITian. But no brand, no marketing, nobody knew about it. So one of the, I just saw there is one solar cooker company here also. So what they did is, what we came out with, we understand the behavioral pattern. There was a pattern in India, at least let's say 15-20 years back in advertising. All women started working, let's say 20-25 years back. Women started working. So women became the decision makers or influencer in the house. They always are, but yeah, in advertising, people realize that, okay, let's start using women in advertising because they are now getting money also into the house. And that's how a lot of ads saw women. Now, eventually, now India has moved to a further evolution. Now, kids. Now, if you see, try to remember any ad, kids rule it. Because now kids decide कौन सी कार लेनी है, kids decide कौन सा कूलर लेना है, So this is so evolution of mankind, evolution of your society has to be taken in consideration. So when we realized the problem was people were not buying solar cookers for their home usage, for their corporate usage. So how to popularize it? So out of this brainstorming, can we do it something for kids? Can we make a toy out of it? And it became a solar cooker made for kids. And उसका event बना दिया. That just imagine 7,000 kids not even in such shaded area, coming on a ground and cooking their own food. That became huge, successful, super PR opportunity for so many. Everything CSR हो गया लोगों का, sustainable design हो गया, kids के लिए एक it was activity for them. They found it amazing. Their reactions were amazing कि हमने उन्होंने खुद खाना बनाया अपने इसमें एक टॉय में खाना बन गया. So that was great idea. पतंजलि वाले बोले हाँ मैगी फ्री में लेके जाओ. उनको समझ गया कि बहुत ब्रांड बन जाएगा इसमें. You know, so all such. So how you first of all understand, as she rightly said, your problem has to be defined really well. What is the real problem? And then innovative solutions can make things completely from A to Z. So it is up to us how we solve these issues, right? So instead of spending a lot on let's say capitalist way, you can, if you think creatively, you can spend less and achieve more impact if there is something new you're doing, be it idea, be it implementation, or just the way you package it.
Thanks. So a big takeaway from what both of you said was, one, she said, listen to your customers. They'll give you the best hints as to where you're going wrong, what you're doing right. And from what Shreya said is again, very human centric. Your approach is very human centric. You're placing a lot of importance on people as well, and of course creativity. So creativity again, like ideas, because I believe ideas is a byproduct of creativity. How would you define creativity, and should you come up with an idea, do you usually act on that idea and say, you know what, I'm going to convert this into a business, or do you just say, let me keep it aside and think about it later? A little bit about creativity, idea, and where your ideas come from, and then I want to kind of open up the platform to people here who might have ideas. They might have questions for you to take that idea and put it out in the market. Yeah.
Whoever has an answer, let's start.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting question. So, they say any idea is not idea if it is not implemented. So everybody has ideas. Like every human has ideas. I'm sure even a lot of animals have ideas. So it's unless and until ideas are put to use, put to implement, or at least brainstorm, discuss, spread, I won't call it an idea. So creativity has to come from the way you think, or the way you look at a particular problem or a particular situation. So if you do standard approach, you do a SWOT analysis, you see what are your strengths, weakness, threats, opportunities, you arrive at this is exactly the marketing problem, or you take someone's help who experts sitting here. So and these are the marketing problem and how to solve it. Then if you have a good consumer study, or if you have a good human study, or if you know your competitors well, your market well, there will be creativity put to use in whatever you're doing, especially when you have hurdles like no, we can't spend crores. तो सर्वाइवल के टाइम आ ही जाता है क्रिएटिविटी. एज सिंपल एज दैट कि आपको ये टाइमलाइन है, आपको ये अचीव करना है, एंड ये आपको बेचना ही है, या ये यहाँ तक आपको पहुँचना ही. सो इफ़ यू स्टे फोकस्ड, you will get idea which is implementable, which is very important. If you can't implement it, there is no idea.
I'll again give one example from my family itself. What he said, same thing. Idea है तो implement कर लो. Don't worry about लोग क्या कहेंगे, because that is mostly when I've seen, I talk to entrepreneurs, micro entrepreneurs especially, they talk about क्या बोलेंगे लोग. So like when I shifted from being a marketing head to this Mera farmer, there was a small bachchi in my society who said, bhaji wali auntie aa gayi. And that day I told him, I said, no, I don't want to do this. बच्चे लोग मुझे भाजी वाली बुला रहे हैं. So, and then then in the evening I just realized that today she knows that a bhajiwali sits in her society, in her friend circle. Tomorrow when she goes on the streets, she will not treat the bhajiwala the same way that her mom treats. So this is kind of creating a completely different attitude shift in the next generation. ठीक है, मेरे खुद के दिमाग है, मुझे खुद को कंसोल करना था. नाउ डेज आई टेल दैट कि नहीं मैं खुद कंसोल हो गई, बट that kept me going. Otherwise that 2 hours when I was pondering नहीं भाजी वाली नहीं बनना, तो वो आइडिया वहीं खत्म हो जाता. And this was just with I think third month. So third month में I was like नहीं बंद करते, बहुत हो गया. But then the moment you console yourself कि नहीं, I am bringing about a transition in the next generation. अभी next generation को when I go I say यार कुछ भी कर लो, खाने के लिए तो खाना ही खाना पड़ेगा ना. So whatever कितना भी कमा लोगे, at the end of the day you need food, you need water. And in today's scenario, even you are working at a farm, so you know. Yesterday I saw a video where Sharjah is growing its own wheat. So when farmers were ruling the country, that was the only occupation. India was a sone ki chidiya. And now it is not sone ki chidiya, but scientists have come back to farming and they are talking about how to farm. They are teaching us how to farm. So farmers तो scientists थे ना, और अभी वापस साइंटिस्ट फार्मिंग करके बता रहे हैं इन शारजा, डेजर्ट में भी मैं उगा सकता हूँ.
Fantastic. So I have a queue of 5 minutes. I'm going to keep that to 4 minutes. So I'm going to open the forum to 3 questions from the audience. Anybody who has an idea and they want to pitch it, or they want to kind of figure out whether these people have anything insightful about that. Anybody in the audience? Any questions at all for Seema and Shreyas? Any idea that they can brainstorm about is what Seema is asking. All right. So I think we 3 are the only creative individuals right now. But anyways, I have a very, I would say it's an important question, at least to me. And I believe that if you want to have a sustainable business, you also have to sustain it monetarily. Because if you want it to go on more than 3 years, more than the break-even point, you want it to have some profits at least enough to pay off your employees, right? Because employment is also a way of sustainability. My question to the both of you is that suppose I have to pinpoint towards one industry or one sector where if I have an idea about that sector, if I want to tap that sector, the probability of it being successful is high. So let's begin again with Seema and end it with Shreyas, and then I'll give you a vote of thanks. Yeah.
Okay, so we've asked about what is the future business. So people get ideas from that. Okay. So I would say in very crude language, हमने already दुनिया की वाट लगा दी. This generation has actually ruined everything that we got from our ancestors. We don't have fresh air, we don't have fresh water. You ride down this road and you will be, you will be feeling hard to breathe in the evening time. Without masks now it is so difficult to go along. In COVID it was better that we were going around with masks. So the future is in bringing back all this. And we can say sorry to our next generation that yes, we have done it, but we are ready to support you in whatever way. But let's get back clean air, let's get back clean food, let's get back clean water. I don't want to pay 20 rupees per liter is what I am paying today. I don't want to pay 100 rupees a liter, and that too going into rationing. What happened? So I don't want to walk with pounds of bags of gold and bags of money to buy necessities. So the future is sustainable business, and this fair which has happened is a very right step, much needed step. So if somebody can just pick up that garbage, pick up that piles of debris which are going around and try to do something else. Think about ways. If this building collapses, what happens with the material that comes down? So think about sustainable ways of building, sustainable way of rebuilding, recrafting, reusing. We have a lot of stalls here, which I'm very proud of. We are using a lot of refurbished laptops. We are buying a lot of refurbished bags. And there are a lot of swap groups and all which are happening. Take pride in using all the used things. That is the future.
Yeah, I completely agree with Seema. And so there are Pick one thing. If you focus, you might say we want to do sustainable business, but we don't know what to do. So I think so. Create a mood board, create a brainstorming board, and write it down. What do you really want to do? What do you really want to be known for? What are you? Uh, what do you want to create a legacy of? कि फ्यूचर जनरेशन के लिए क्या छोड़ के जाना है आपको? ये अगर आप खुद लिखोगे शांत अकेले बैठ के इंस्टाग्राम को छोड़ के, तो कुछ आएगा आपके दिमाग में. देर आर enough inspiration booths here, brands here, who are helping you to create a sustainable lifestyle. So I think so a sustainable lifestyle is what we really need to aim for, and there is enough room for businesses, there is enough room for services, there's enough room for products. The world is going towards it. So see where the future is heading, and as long as you change the way as far as you change the way you look at things, you know, there are different things. तो मैं हमेशा मेरी एक बहुत ही फेमस लाइन है, मैं मेरी लाइन नहीं है जिसने लिखी है, बट मैं यूज़ करता हूँ कि नज़र बदलो, नज़रिया बदलो, नज़ारे बदल जाएंगे.
So I was thinking of a nice line to end the. I was thinking of a great line to end this session with, but I think Shreyas has stolen the thunder from me, and I'm going to let him do that today. So thank you, Shreyas, and thank you, Seema. And this is Sagar. I'm signing off right now, and I'll see you tomorrow. I have a terrarium workshop. I'm using this opportunity to kind of promote myself, but that's happening. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.